There's an old adage that you can't lose your job due to injury, but in the case of Adin Hill, he could not only lose his job as the top VGK goalie, but he could also be on the trade market. More ahead, right here on Lockdown Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi again, everyone, from Las Vegas. Tony Dasco and Chris Gawlik. Welcome to Lockdown Golden Knights, part of the Lockdown Podcast Network, now the #1 sports network, podcast network on the planet. I'm a longtime sportscaster, a marketing consultant, and the host of the Believe in Vegas podcast. Chris, the owner of Silver State Cards and Sports, and the host of the Hockey News Collectible Show. Coming up ahead on today's show, we're going to talk about the latest injury update. Jeremy Lauzon returns to the ice, and Trevor Connolly is assigned to Team USA for the World Juniors. We are brought to you today by FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com. And a reminder that you can now catch our show each and every day on Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network. Tune in at 1 p.m. That's Monday through Friday on SSSEN on YouTube TV or on Cox Cable Channel 77. So, Chris, the VGK goaltending room is crowded right now. You've got Carter Hart, you've got Akira Schmid, and Adin Hill once he recovers from injury. The Canadian Olympic rosters are expected to be released by the end of this year, perhaps by December the 31st, in less than 2 weeks. And by all insider reports, we might not see a return of Adin Hill until after the new year. So you might have to strike that as a member of Team USA for Adin Hill. One reason why Hill could be on the trading block, of course, once he returns, is perhaps his salary. He just received that extension back in March, I should say, and he's making over $7 million a year now, and an AAV is $7 million this season with an AAV of 6.25. And the other issue is the emergence of one Carter Hart, who has not lost in regulation since his return at 3-0-1.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. And, whoever created that adage you talked about, you can't lose your job to injury, obviously hasn't hung out in Vegas a whole lot around the Golden Knights. They'll trade you for no good reason at all. Well, actually, it's usually a pretty good reason. So, yeah, I mean, where to go here? 6.25 on the AAV until the year 2930. That's a contract that I think Kelly McCrimmon regretted before Carter Hart's arrival, and Carter Hart proving that he is more than worthy of being this team's lone starter going forward here. And you can't tell me that Kelly McCrimmon isn't doing whether he uses Puckpedia or their own internal software, whatever it may be. He's looking at this saying, okay, right now we got $5.1 million in cap space. Now, William Karlsson coming back could, whatever. Adin Hill is currently on LTIR, but point being is this would create $5 million for the Vegas Golden Knights to utilize should they be able to move Adin Hill simply on a salary dump, let alone getting something in return.
The biggest question that I have about Adin Hill now is he overpriced? Has he overpriced himself now out of the market to be traded? That's a lot to put into a goaltender that pretty much has, he played 50 games last year. We get all of that, whatever. But he's not the type of goaltender currently, in my opinion, that will take you to the mountaintop.
Listen, Adin Hill, I've been very, what's the word to use? Enthusiastic about the fact that Adin Hill had a great 4.5 week run during the Stanley Cup final, put up the second highest save percentage in the history of the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. Full credit for that. He parlayed that to, a massive payday. Good for him. I have no problem with the player getting paid, but unfortunately, like you said, has he underperformed based on his availability? I mean, listen, save percentage last 2 years since getting that extension, 909 and 906, 271 and 247 goals against. So Adin Hill's not a bad goalie by any means. This is more simply coming down to the financial aspect here and the fact that if the Golden Knights can trade Adin Hill, you're talking, roughly $5.5 million available by the time that the dust settles. It seems like an absolute no-brainer. I mean, you have to think that Kelly McCrimmon made this move having plan B, plan C, plan D, having an end game or multiple end games based on how Carter Hart did. And we know McCrimmon loves having some money to spend come trade deadline time.
Yeah, and does VGK have enough with Carter Hart and Akira Schmid to become cup contenders? Yes, they're playing well right now. There's some areas of concern. I'm still not sold entirely on the defense. The defense in front of him. And again, has he really been tested here through a grueling schedule and all that? I'm just, with Carter Hart and Akira Schmid, I think these are two goaltenders, in my personal opinion, that could implode at any given moment.
Listen, Akira Schmid, I don't think any one of us, and a lot of people weren't necessarily big fans of him taking a step up because the Golden Knights, pretty much ignored him last season. Mm-hmm. You look at this season right now, he's a 903. He's played 17 games. We're beyond a small sample size right now. Slightly better than Carter Hart's 901 in 4 games. So Schmid as a backup / someone who can take this team for, a matter of weeks while you're waiting for your regular, your 1A goalie to come back. Yes, Schmid, I think, is going to be a quality backup. And how old is he? Is he 25? He's 25 years old. So he still has upside coming down the road. And you do have Carl Lindbaum, who, again, he wasn't ready for the NHL as of yet, but he's certainly moving the right direction. So Lindbaum sliding into that number 3 role while he gets the starters, Net and Henderson. Now you're developing another potential 1A netminder down the road. So, I mean, I get the concerns about Carter Hart's and Schmid imploding, more at Carter Hart because it's still such a small sample size. And, of course, there's off-the-ice things that are in his head. I mean, you can't ignore any of that right now. Yeah. But the fact that Carter Hart's only played 4 games, he's still getting his feet under him.
Right.
He should get better. And last but not least, you said you're concerned about the defense, Tony. $5 million can help the defense a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Why is it that injuries for the Golden Knights seem to last a lot longer? We'll talk more about the injury situation later, but I don't know. Like, I see guys with ACL injuries come back a lot quicker than some of these players on this team. I'm just saying. I mean,
medical science has come a long way.
Part medical staff, yes. Part cooking the books. They're cooking the books still.
There's nothing to cook right now with keeping William Karlsson out. It doesn't matter. And Adin Hill on LTIR it's irrelevant right now. And the Golden Knights don't need to even put anyone else on LTIR because they are the most cap compliant they've been in the last 9 seasons. So there's nothing to cook right now. And with the new rules come playoff time, you have to have a compliant roster. So there's the loophole hasn't been 1000% closed, but it's much farther closed than it ever was, back in the Mark Stone days when he would have, his random injuries that would pop up. So
back in the Stone Age.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, I get all that, but I'll go back to the fact that you can't tell me that McCrimmon didn't have a list of potential end games depending on how Carter Hart played. And one end game that probably no one's even talking about that I will put out there. What about a Carter Hart trade? Carter Hart is a $2 million AAV starting goalie right now.
He's still the hot potato, and it's.
I agree, Tony. But maybe not now. Maybe over the summer.
Yeah, over the summer or a year from now.
It's one of the end games in McCrimmon's whiteboard somewhere. That's all.
One of them, you are saying, Gawlik, that one of the 3 goalies, the 3-headed goaltender, will be traded. Is that what you're saying?
That sounds fun. Yeah. Let's put that out there. One of them is going to be traded.
Put that on the napkin for sure.
On the napkin. Put it
and
out
Adin
there.
Hill hasn't played in a game since the Carolina contest when he had to be helped off the ice back in October. And his last win was October the 18th. He was not trending in the right direction.
883 888 save percentage, which actually was up from this first couple of games, which they had in like the 860s or 850s or something.
Coming up next, VGK's injury updates coming up next right here on Lockdown Golden Knights. NFL Sundays move fast. One big play, and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time, and that makes it so much fun. And with FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds, every drive, every momentum swing, every single highlighted moment. And live betting is definitely the best when the game starts to pick up. It starts to shift. You've got a wide receiver that gets hot. The defense tightens up. The Raiders don't protect the edge, or the momentum flips after a turnover. How to get that dig in there. FanDuel lets you jump into the moment. Player props update each and every time as the guys heat up on the field. And you can bet next touchdown scores. You can bet the next drive, the drive results, totals, and it just keeps you engaged in the game. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com, place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, and so can you. Welcome back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco and Chris Gawlik from Las Vegas. We appreciate you making us your first listen every day. Of course, find us wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe to Locked On Golden Knights, our YouTube channel. And Chris, yeah, that Raider team is pretty ill. They're ill. Pete Carroll's not going to survive this. I went on the Mike Davis show yesterday, and the topic was Raiders. And like, there's no way. I thought that they needed consistency, right? But there's no way he can survive this. This is just brutal. Bruce Cassidy yesterday, he gave us some injury updates. And first, let's talk about the return of the one and only VGK defenseman, Jeremy Lauzon. Yeah. He was back on the ice. He not only wore the red non-contact jersey, but they had him sit in the penalty box for a few minutes to get reacquainted. Let's go with the box.
So you forget where that is.
I made that part up, of course. But Cassidy says, depending on how Lauzon looks this morning at the morning skate, he could be in the lineup coming up ahead tomorrow. VGK reassigning Dylan Coughlin to Henderson yesterday, so that makes some room for his return. And so when Jeremy Lauzon returns, Ben Hutton will be the scratch.
Is this where we start asking that question? How much does this team hate Ben Hutton again?
Yeah, it could be. It could be because he was more productive, I think, not just intangibles, right? Not just points wise and everything else, but him on the ice, he settled down this team when Ben Hutton's playing. When Lauzon's out there, you don't know. He's a live wire. You don't know what he's going to do, what kind of trouble he's going to get you into.
Even in the penalty box, he's going to happen. You know what he's going to do.
Yeah, for sure. So Ben Hutton is the scratch, do you think?
I mean, Ben Hutton's averaging 14-12 on the ice. He can kill some penalties when needed. 9 points in 24 games. Lauzon, no goals, 4 assists, averaging 15-54 time on ice. So Lauzon is a +3, where Ben Hutton is a +2. I mean, this team just won 5 games in a row on the road. They haven't lost in regulation in a minute. Why, even if Lauzon is ready, why rush him back? What's the rush? No pun intended. Ben Hutton seems to bring more value to this roster in general, and I can't make a case for Lauzon replacing any of the defensemen. Maybe Korczak if they're just looking to mix it up a little bit. But again, Korczak is a +8 right now. I mean, you mentioned you're concerned about this defense, Tony. The metrics, I mean, maybe the metrics are better than the eye test at times, but the metrics of the VGK defenders are pretty darn good.
Yeah, the defense, it still worries me, and they still could use just a thumper in there. We talked about
you missed Pietrangelo, and that's fine.
And they missed Pietrangelo, healthy Pietrangelo.
Of course.
You always have to point that out because he was hurting them towards the end of last season.
He's a warrior. He's a warrior.
Yeah. But the game of Lauzon, not quite sure. This love affair, maybe because they made a trade for him and they feel obligated to to play him a lot. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure on that one. And
Yeah,
then,
that's good.
yeah. And then, of course, we have the case of one William Karlsson. He is on LTIR. No idea when he returns. He's listed as week to week, and he's on the Bill Foley plan. So I think he can return whenever he wants to. He might be vacationing right now. I'm not quite sure. He can definitely do whatever he wants. And additionally, he saves the Golden Knights cap space.
Karlsson's 32 years old. He's getting up there right now as far as VGK terms.
He's almost in the range of Philip Rivers right now.
Yeah, but Philip Rivers slightly has more kids, but
slightly
killed his Hall of Fame eligibility just to go lose to Seattle. How about that? $5.9 million for William Karlsson through next season.
One more season.
I will go out on a very strong thick limb and say this is William Karlsson's highest AAV he'll ever get. He's not going to get $5.9 million ever again. Number one,
they overpaid him. Number one.
You wonder looking at his. I mean, since even back in his two full seasons in Columbus, 81 games. Vegas, 82 games, plays, I believe, all the COVID games in the 63-game regular season. The next year, 56 games, 67 games in 21-22, all 82 games in the Stanley Cup year. Last 3 seasons, 70 games, 53 games. He'll be lucky to get into the 40s this season by the way things are going. So ultimately where I'm going with this, are we looking at not career ending, but are we looking at some type of career altering injury with his groin, with his hamstring, with his leg, whatever it is, because something major is wrong with William Karlsson right now. And it's unfortunate. This team needs, just like a healthy Pietrangelo, they need a healthy William Karlsson. They got good depth down the middle, but a healthy William Karlsson would make things a little bit better for this team.
Well, I have a feeling that VGK is saying, well, we're winning, so we don't really need you just yet. Okay.
But they weren't winning over the last 12 games before this. You know what I mean?
Right. But maybe he's got to be almost ready, or if not, then just.
I don't think so, Tony. I honestly don't think so.
I don't know. He's got
I think
kids
he's
bouncing
got
up and
something
down
major
on
wrong.
him.
I think the surgery word's being thrown around. I have no knowledge.
Well, then do the surgery. Then do the surgery and get it over with. I don't know.
2 years ago.
Yeah. And I just think that this team sometimes thinks that he's much more important than he actually is.
A healthy version of him is extremely important.
I think it's time to write another front page sports story about him. We haven't had one in a day. So we talked as well about, sorry, man. We talked about Adin Hill week to week, so we can move on from him. And last report, wasn't it the good doctor who said he'd be back perhaps by first he walked back a report that said that Adin Hill wouldn't be ready until later. It's definitely an injury and he's tweaked something, what have you. Then Saravelli, I think he walked it back, or Friedman. And then they were just talking about, he'll be back late December. Well, late December is right here. It's right around the corner.
One of them casually said, I think it was Friedman, maybe a month ago, and said it's months until Adin Hill is going to be back. It was very. I didn't know he walked it back, but
then he
maybe because it's going to be longer.
Yeah, no,
not because it's going to be shorter.
No, he said shorter. He did. He said he walked it back and said that it could be late December.
Every local report out there I've seen, best case scenario is January. Best case scenario.
Okay, so January, that's fine. And then one other injury of note. So we've got those two. We've got Adin Hill, William Karlsson, week to week designations. And then there was some concern the other day, right, when Pavel Dorofeev left the game on Saturday, but he was back on the ice yesterday.
He's good.
So he just tweaked something.
He took a big hit, didn't he? Not too long ago. I forgot.
Yeah, that's the injury designation, though. Tweaking something.
It should
coming
be
up next.
Tweak to tweak. Coming up next, VGK's Trevor Connolly will be participating in the upcoming World Juniors Championships. We'll tell you more about it next, right here on Locked On Golden Knights.
Thank you for making Locked On Golden Knights your first listen of the day, and each and every day you do that, and we appreciate it. And thank you for making Locked On the #1 sports podcast network on the planet. You already live your team every day. Now you can take it up a level, go ad-free. Join the Everydayer Club like a lot of folks have already. They've taken advantage of this deal, and you could get Locked On Golden Knights with no interruptions, members only Discord access, and much, much more, all for only $5 a month or $50 per year. And go to lockedonpodcast.com/everydayers, lockedonpodcast.com/everydayers. You just realized that your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy, just use Indeed. When it comes to hiring, Indeed, it is Indeed. That's all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other major sites. Indeed's sponsored jobs puts your post at the top of the page, and it can help you to reach the right candidates faster. I've been in a spot right now. Again, you need to hire someone like yesterday. The pressure is on, it's building, and every day without the right person is an absolute setback. That's exactly when Indeed sponsored jobs come in handy, and they make sure that your post is seen by the right candidates right now. Now you can speed up your hiring process with a $75 sponsored job credit. Just go to Indeed.com/lockdown right now and support our show, Locked On Golden Knights, by saying that you heard about Indeed on this very podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring, Indeed, is all you need. Back on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights, Tony Dasco and Chris Gawlik reporting from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen. This upcoming weekend, hopefully on Monday, I'll have a voice, because last year I had some issues with it after I did a few games at the South Point Division II basketball. Men's and women's coming up this weekend. But this year, I'm doing all 6 games on Saturday and then 6 more on Sunday. Play-by-play. And you know what a Mike Hog I am there, Gawlik. I'm doing them all by myself. So we'll do the play-by-play. We'll do the color. We'll have fun. Fun will be had by all.
You will have words.
I'll have words. I'll have a lot of words. I wonder if we could get that little platform that we have for this show to count all the words I say over the weekend. That would be kind of fun. VGK rookie Trevor Connolly will be playing for Team USA in the upcoming World Junior Championship in Minnesota. It starts on December the 26th. When Connolly played in the World Junior Showcase, you might recall, he sustained that knee injury this past July. It kept him out of action for 4 months. He had 4 points for Team USA to win the 2025 Juniors title.
Yeah, Connelly, I mean, listen, we know about his past, and it's been, a long time since he's been with the organization now. Things seem to be going the right direction for the 19-year-old. Can't forget how young he is. 11 points in the American League, 3 goals, 4 assists with now a more of a middling HSK team. Started out pretty hot. I think they're 12-10 or something right now. Side note, tonight, Tuesday, is a fun night to go to the Silver Knights game. Tonight's the teddy bear toss. So the first goal that the Silver Knights score, it will rain down thousands and thousands and thousands of teddy bears. So it's a lot of fun. I'll be there with my Ice Dogs hockey team. We'll be out there watching in attendance, and a ton of fun. This is a game I haven't missed since they started doing this back at the Orleans Arena, I think in 2021 or something like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I know that the team puts a lot into it too. So
for sure. No, this is a good day, and curious what the attendance will be on a Tuesday night, but it'll definitely bring people out. This is my first game I'm going to, and I have season tickets, for crying out loud.
Is there anyone you're going to boo? No? Okay. I just get the feeling that for Trevor Connolly, he's still playing. So you'll see him tonight and go up against the glass and bang on the glass and say, hey, man, you've heard of us. We talk about you a lot. I just get the feeling that one more leg injury or knee injury, and it could really jeopardize his career. And to me,
it's not William Karlsson, Tony. He's not made of glass. Relax.
Okay, but to me, though, I'm a little bit torn in that why would they allow him? Why would they want him to play? And they were talking about
because they want to showcase him, Tony. He's a prospect. They want to showcase him to the world and more on a bigger stage.
To get rid of him?
Showcase him is a better way to put it, but absolutely.
Okay. So again, it leads us to this question. Does playing international hockey help a player like Trevor Connolly's development as a professional? He's a good player on the ice, but this is all about reshaping his image too, right? As much as it is playing in the game. Oh,
there's always the business and PR side of this, Tony. There's no doubt.
Don't you think that's a PR move too? I do.
Why not? And so be it. I mean, listen, I'm sure we probably attacked the kid more than any, and we didn't attack him. Kids make mistakes. We attacked.
No, we did not. No, we just were right down the middle and reported the facts.
No, but I'm sure we are heavier than other places, and I think that's also not a bad thing, Tony. But on the same wavelength, I guess you can say, he's kept himself clean, kept himself out of the news for the wrong reasons in his year plus now with being here. And again, he's a 19-year-old. Can't forget that he's a 19-year-old, and he's playing well. And on the VGK business side of things right now, yes, the PR side, number one, is important for any of the other 31 NHL teams that might consider him in any type of trade package. You almost have to wonder if he became an Abbotsford Canuck over the weekend. There was some very light reports that VGK was kicking tires on Quinn Hughes, but there was not a path to getting Quinn Hughes in Vegas, as remarkable as it would have been. So yeah, I mean, get him out there on the international stage, let the kid do well and perform. And it's either going to make him, a good future, piece of this VGK team, or more likely a trade possibility this February or next February.
Yeah, I still get the feeling that one more leg injury or knee injury will be detrimental, because he had the 2 leg injuries at Michigan. He had the one last July that we saw. And we watched that video a lot, and he just got scrunched on his leg. And it's
a risk, Tony, but you know what? He wants to be on the ice, so hopefully it works out.
Okay. And I don't know how much it develops you, as far as international play. We'll see. Maybe it sets him up to be an Olympian someday. That would
exactly.
Thanks for tuning in today to Locked On Golden Knights. Make sure that you subscribe and follow us on Locked On Golden Knights, wherever you get your podcast, and also on YouTube TV and on YouTube. And you can get all of the latest episodes and check it out on SSSEN. Did Locked On Golden Knights make your Spotify rap list? Just prove it on social media, and you'll secure a month of our brand new Everydayer Club. So check it out. For my man, Chris Gawlik, Tony Cordasco from Las Vegas, we'll see you again tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights.